Welcome to the Chasing Ebenezer Show. This is a show where we talk about stuff, play you some music, and encourage you to be creative. This season, we are exploring the art of being human. We want to say thank you to our patrons who support us each month. If you want to know more about that, visit us on patreon.com/Chasing Ebenezer. For more information about our musical endeavors, visit chasingebenezer.com. We hope you enjoy the show. Hey everyone, welcome to the Chasing Ebenezer Show. This is episode 12 of The Art of Being Human, and I'm Benjamin, and this is Heidi Beth. And we are so grateful. We're so grateful that we get to do this. We're so grateful that we have patrons who support us each month. And if you're not a patron, you can go to patreon.com, search Chasing Ebenezer, and become a part of that. Either way, we hope that we're helping you on your creative journey. So, yeah. I am really excited. I got to be excited about a past tense thing because I'm still excited about it. We got to see Dune.
I was going to mention that Saturday. Too. I was going to say the same thing.
Well, great minds think alike. We got to see Dune on Saturday, and I have to say, I had no expectations going into the movie. It kind of felt for me like when I saw The Matrix back in 1999. I was thinking, oh, I'm going to go see another version of Johnny Mnemonic. I had no idea what it was about. And then like halfway through the movie, I'm like, I'm experiencing something life-changing. That is how I felt watching Dune on Saturday. The visuals were so amazing. The acting was good. The story development. It was a long movie, but in a good way. I was just blown away. I loved it.
Good job, everybody.
Very good job.
Dune.
So
well done. Well done.
I'm still excited about having seen Dune.
It was awesome.
What about you?
I had something that I forgot what it was. I don't even remember now. I had something. Oh. Well, crap. I'll think of something in a minute. I will say that being human, how I experience my humanity is I'm like a week off of soda.
Oh, you are?
I know.
Yeah.
I've done this on the show many times last week, we've been watching Dope Sick, which is that new Michael Keaton show about...
we watched a lot of TV.
Guys, we just watch lots of televisions, movies. That's really what we do, and that's just the way it is. That's what we do.
That's it.
Just talking about the pharmaceuticals and stuff, and I was realizing, I am so addicted to diet soda, and so I'm not gonna spill my coffee, but
just
thank
helping
you.
Out.
And so, because I get like that dopamine rush the minute I take it. So I was realizing, okay, maybe I'm not addicted to pharmaceuticals, but I am addicted to a chemical. It's a real thing, and I was drinking probably a case or two a week for a while, and not good. Yeah. So that is a weakness that I have. I can't do it in moderation. It can't be in the house. So.
And if it is, I need to have a hiding spot for it because I like it too.
You like it too. You need to hide it.
And I do. I recognize that like when I drink it, I feel it like right here, this relief.
But you're not addicted to it.
No.
So don't worry. You can keep it in your office and just not tell me about it.
Yeah, I'm not going to say a word. We're good. We're good. Yeah, I felt my humanity this week, I guess, was... honestly, I've just been feeling it giving plasma. I know I've talked about that before, but I've been giving plasma the past month.
You got a nice little bruise
here. I got a nice little bruise here.
I think it was done incorrectly, and you had a little bit of an incident.
I had a little bit of an incident that I won't describe because people can be squeamish about that kind of thing. But basically, I got 2 vein pokes last time I gave, and so I got done, and I'm like, I'm always really tired after I give, but... it's a good cause, and it definitely helps other people. So that's kind of where I felt my humanity.
Oh, I know something I'm excited about.
Retroactive as well. It would work.
Well, something retroactive that I'm excited about. But Brandi Carlile's performance on SNL.
Oh my!
Even if you don't watch now, goodness. I'm sure you can Google it. Especially her second song, her performance. I mean, I'm still thinking about it. So
chills.
Love her. Just love her performance and her music. So I'm always excited when I hear someone's music that just arrests me, and I can't believe what I'm hearing. And so, and I've also been working on my classical music again. I've been working on that Mozart Turkish March, the Rondo song, and it's really hard, but I've been working on it with one of my students. So, see, here's a thing that I tend to give students music that's hard for me as well. Sometimes, like, why did I give them a really hard piece? Because then, like, I'm gonna not play it perfectly in front of them either. Oh dear, but that's good. I tell them I'm not gonna play it perfectly. So I'm just really excited about my violin students. They're just working so hard and doing a great job. So good job, violin students. Oh, by the way, it's Christmas coming. So if you want music lessons or creative coaching lessons, perfect gift. You can do it virtually. So yeah,
that's one thing that I can do. I can help you with songwriting or creative, like kind of, getting started on your creative journey. So feel free to message one of us and we'll reach out to you.
So when I was thinking about sickness, that's probably the best word, or infirmity. I mean, there's disease and things like that, like cancer. Mm-hmm. There's injuries like broken bones or all that stuff. There's things that maybe you're born with a physical, what humanity might perceive, people might perceive as a physical limitation. And then there's mental illness.
Health. Yeah.
And you know what? I pretty much,
So you
on the
cover
bench
the
here,
gambit.
On the bench here, we kind of have all of those covered. I mean, I had cancer as a kid. Yeah. I have had like 4 head injuries. Yes. I had a serious...
None of them caused by me.
No, you weren't involved in any of them. And I had a car accident injury that I couldn't really talk about publicly for years. And that was actually really hard too. I couldn't post things just because there was a lawsuit. And it was years before I finally had surgery. And then you all know I've got mental depression, PTSD, all those things. You were born with...
I was born with a clubbed foot.
A clubbed foot.
Which, if you don't know what that is like where like you're born with your foot kind of turned in. And I had 2 surgeries to straighten it out and whatnot. I won't show you the foot.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
But yeah, I had that.
And your one leg is shorter than the other.
As a result, yeah, my one leg is shorter and skinnier than the other. Kind of looks like a peg leg if you
It's a very cool leg.
Yeah, it's cool. I don't have an issue with it. But yeah, so I had that, and I have a little bit of depression. Oh. But most of them, I'm really grateful that I have not. I'm very grateful and fortunate to have not had a lot of physical sickness. But I've been, being with you.
And all my
I don't mean this
issues.
is bad though, because sickness is collateral. It's also the family members and friends and loved ones around somebody who's sick experience it as well. None of us is separated from it. And then just living with my mom and all of the health issues she had, and miraculously she's doing so much better now, and I'm so grateful for that. But I grew up with physical sickness around me.
And my mom was often sick. And so whether it's you who is sick or has the physical, I guess sometimes we call it disability. I like the new phrase of differently abled. Differently abled. I like that a lot. Which I really appreciate that really positive way of saying that. So either you or someone probably close, we can't escape infirmity. It's part of being human. Yeah. And yet we spend our lives trying to not be in pain, trying not to be sick. Clearly with COVID, we are trying not to get it.
Yep.
And so that's a good thing. We don't want to get it.
Yeah.
But how do there's this really fine tension of acknowledging our physical pain or limitations, or however you'd like to describe it, seeking healing. And yet, sometimes healing is a very long process. Sometimes it never comes. Yeah. So how do you kind of come to a place of acceptance, not let it squash your creativity or all that? So it's a big topic.
It is a huge topic. So I might want to share. I'm going to share a little bit about, because like my club foot now, I have no issue with whatsoever. In fact, I'm quite proud of it.
As am I.
But I know growing up, that made getting involved in team sports and stuff, it at least made me feel like I was at a disadvantage. That and the fact that I spent more time watching TV than I did running around. That also put me at a disadvantage. But like, even I got into martial arts, and that taught me how to balance it and manage it. But, as a kid, I felt a little, I felt like, there's certain things I couldn't do as well. Immediately, that was a limitation. Like for you, how did sickness like affect you as a kid?
Well, it's so interesting because I had surgery for my cancer back in the mid 80s. So this was a very long time ago. This is before a lot of our just our plastic surgery type of technology, because I've had surgery since then, and you wouldn't even know. But I have an enormous scar across my abdomen.
And it's beautiful.
I feel like I look like I was chopped in half and put back together. And so while you may not see it, it has always been kind of this source of shame and embarrassment. And so just sometimes, even if we're healed, the literal scars that are left on our bodies can be a source of, people who have open heart surgery have scars. So instead of having to choose to view those scars as beautiful, and like without it, a lot of us wouldn't still be here.
Yeah.
But that can just cause, insecurities. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that when we realize we have these things, it can be something that we feel vulnerable about. It can be something that we feel very self-conscious about. I think about the mental health stuff, like the stuff that you've walked through, some of the stuff that I've walked through, or I've walked with other people through, that it can almost become a defining characteristic.
Like an identity. This is my identity. Yeah.
Right. Not to say that it isn't a part of your story. It totally is. So don't mishear me. I think that depression is a legit real thing. I think PTSD is. I think.
Oh, I don't think did I take my pill? I don't know if I took my pill yet today.
I took mine. I don't know if you took yours.
I don't think I did. I'll have to do that when we're done here.
But I know, as someone who has been with you, who's had these things.
You've enjoyed the.
Well, no, but I've had to learn to recognize that there's something beautiful in it about you in it, versus my early responses, and sometimes my current responses of like, would you just get over it? Or, can you just not be so sensitive, or not be why are we having to go through this again? As a person who's with somebody that struggles with that, I recognize that like my patience gets thin, and that I get very insensitive about it, and see it as something that hinders us from being close, which isn't true. If in fact, when I actually take the time to slow down and listen and empathize, I feel a lot closer to you as a result of that.
And how to communicate on the, me trying to learn how to communicate if I'm having a down day, or if I'm feeling sensitive. It's just how to learn how to communicate well.
Yes.
It can be really hard.
And if you're somebody who struggles with mental health or has some depression or those kind of things, please talk to a counselor.
Yes.
Find a group of friends that are supportive. We're not counselors, but we.
But I see counselors.
She sees counselors. I'm in a men's group that really helps me and puts me in an atmosphere where I can be very honest. These are great things, and so it's not about you isolating from community. It's about you further belonging in community, and it gives the community a chance to grow. I think I'm a better person because of what you deal with. I am. I think I've grown that way.
I agree.
Not as a brag, but like I'm like, oh wow, I've had to deal with some stuff.
When I had surgery, I couldn't walk for like almost 2 months, and you took great care of me. Go ahead.
So I do have to.
I had to have hip surgery, and I couldn't. I had to use crutches.
Yes, and you had to learn to let people take care of you.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that.
So the first night, you can't see the couch that's near us, but we were both on the couch, and I was sleeping on the couch. She was sleeping on the couch, so I could be aware. And I wake up and I see this person on the floor, army crawling to the TV. And I got so mad at you.
I didn't want to wake you up, but I was up in the middle of the night. I needed to turn on the TV, and I was like, I couldn't walk yet. I couldn't even put any, I'm like, army crawling across the floor. Because TV is very important to me. Remember this, guys.
It's extremely important. So,
but it's hard to ask for help.
It is.
As well. It can be embarrassing. It can feel.
And by us withholding our needs from others, we're not going to get any help, because let me tell you something. Other people are not going to just naturally assume you need help.
I don't appreciate that, Benjamin. I want you to just know what I need.
But it's true.
I want you to just read my mind.
But also, it is keeping a community or a friendship from being able to mature and grow, because I want to be I need to grow in my ability to help, and I'm not going to do that unless I'm know what's needed.
But, and also too, we also might assume if someone is sick or maybe has, something going on physically, we might also assume that they want help, or that they, that they, and that's not necessarily true either. So communication is really important.
Yes. So this is a story about my mom.
And she's awesome. She's an
so
awesome artist. She's such a creative person.
She is, and she's a creative songwriter. I mean, everything I have as a musician and as a person, I owe to my mom. I just do, because she loved me very well. My mom has also been in a wheelchair since I was like 12 or 13. And one of the gifts of that was that she and I got really close because I would take her places. And one of the things that she has observed, and I have too, is that people act really strange around people who have different limitations, and we'll say differently abled.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
People talk to my mom like she's deaf because she's in a wheelchair. And if you're this person,
Grace for you.
Grace for you.
Now you know not to shout at people in wheelchairs.
Now you know. So stop. If a person is in a wheelchair, that does not mean they're deaf.
That's not hearing impaired.
We can either do one of two things when we're around people who are sick. We can either say the absolute wrong thing because we're uncomfortable, or we do nothing because we're uncomfortable. And both of those kind of responses are not loving responses. And so we get the opportunity to grow.
Because a lot of that is we haven't worked through our own, perceptions on illness and death and limitations.
Yes.
So that's really important. One of my favorite books of all time about illness, and it's also made into movie, is A Monster Calls.
This was so good.
And I mean, the illustrations in here are so unbelievable. And so this is technically a book for young adults or middle schoolers. But every adult should read it. I've read this. It's so gorgeous. It's really worth it for you to get the copy where you can have the illustrations. The illustrations are by Jim Kay. And this is just a really honest journey through when you have a loved one who has chronic illness, and what do you do with those emotions. And so highly recommend it. The movie was great as well. So A Monster Calls. I don't know why I started talking about that. Oh yeah, but our own issues. If we're not the sick person, it can be though our uncomfortableness with it.
And I think human beings in general have a hard time with honesty and vulnerability. We have a hard time because we have this idea of like how we should feel, how we should think, what we should do. And we spend all of our time trying to do those things without acknowledging where we're presently at. And the first step in any kind of thing is to just acknowledge where you're at and start where you're at instead of trying to pretend that you're not there. So sickness as it relates to creativity. A person that comes to mind when I think about this is a gal by the name of Johnny Erickson Tata. Some of you might know her story. She was paralyzed at a young age, and she paints with her teeth.
Mouth. Amazing.
Unbelievable. Art. And you said she sings?
Yeah, she sings.
I didn't know she sang.
Yeah,
That's really cool. So I think when we think of sickness, when we think of
physical limitations, yeah,
we think that is a hindrance to creativity. And
No.
It absolutely is not. I think that, if anything, it can be either a innovation towards a different form of creativity, or it can be great fuel for creativity.
Yeah, for sure. One of the most meaningful things that I love is, and we're starting to get to go back, is going into memory care units and doing music. If you've never seen a Live Inside, the documentary is unbelievable.
It'll mess you up.
Just because someone may not know who you are, music is so vital to, and so it's so beautiful to see someone singing, even though their memory might be gone with other areas. I think that American Sign Language is one of the most gorgeous things in the world. It can evoke more emotion sometimes when I'm seeing it, as opposed to if someone just like spoke the words. Yeah. So such beauty in that. And so, or maybe we talked about dancing last week. Maybe you are in a wheelchair, or you might, I had a hip injury for a while. I could barely walk at one point, but you could still sway a little bit. So, we're not saying that these things can't be difficult. But there's so much beauty even when we feel like we might have a limitation. So, and there's great stories like, just like a Monster Calls, or I'm trying to think of Mental Illness, Infinitely Polar Bear.
That was such a great movie.
Pain and suffering breeds great art. So
it does.
Maybe your story is just what someone needs to hear to not make them feel alone. Because one of the purposes of art is to build connectedness. So maybe your painful thing that you're going through could help someone else. And so, so
it's asking yourself the question while you're seeking healing. I'm going to emphasize that again. We want you to get better. If you're having
some major physical problems, we suggest you go to see the doctor.
But while you're getting better, while you're waiting, while we are enduring, our bodies increasingly getting limited, because all of us, no matter how much care we take of ourselves, we're all going to die. And I know that's really positive, right?
Apparently humanity has 100% mortality rate.
Go figure. Boom. And so there is this, we have to accept that. But while we're waiting, while we're experiencing limitation, there's so many things that can be made and generated through those limitations.
And a question
that only you can make.
And a question I've asked for a long time: what if the lock is actually the key? Mm-hmm. And that's, I think, especially how we might view some of these limitations, or what if it's just a different way, a different ability, differently abled? So the sky's the limit, and we just want to see what you're creating. And so, show us what you've made. I don't know if you have more to say. We're going to do a song.
Are there any other prompts that you have?
Oh, prompts. Okay. Yes. Journaling might be really important. Like, how have you viewed sickness? How has your community viewed sickness? Mm-hmm. Or how have you really viewed what might be considered physical limitations? And just be honest, that no one needs to see your journal. And then, is there a different way to view it? Maybe there's someone who is homebound or who can't get out right now, so maybe make a gift for them.
Yes.
When I had my cancer surgery, so many people brought me gifts. I like 3, so I get grace here. But so many people were bringing me gifts that, like, at one point, if someone would come and where's my gift? And my mom was like, Heidi, someone doesn't have to bring you a gift to come visit you, so you don't need to, like, require a gift.
It's true.
But you know what? People who have had surgery, they love flowers and gifts. We do. We really do. People brought me so many meals when I had surgery.
They did.
And that was amazing. So, and when my mom passed away, so many meals. If I have one of your dishes still, I apologize. Let me know. Because sometimes the Tupperware builds up. I'm like, I don't know who this belongs to. I'm sorry. Let me know. And then maybe watch Alive Inside or watch A Monster Calls, or maybe another movie that has to do with some kind of physical pain, and create something about it or as a response.
That's good.
Did you have anything else?
No, I just am wanting to hear what song.
It's a song I wrote. Well, it's interesting. I wrote this during my first wave of depression, during my car accident and stuff. And I thought I reached the end of my issues. Oh no, friend. Oh no. Apparently there's
more.
There was so much more. I had no idea. And yet accepting love, that we're all imperfect, that we're all flawed, and that doesn't mean that we're not worthy of love.
That's right. The song is called
All Right.
All Right.
Tell me I'm going to be all right.
You're going to be all right.
I know that some people can't fix my things, but sometimes we just need someone to say, you know what? You're going to be all right. You're going to be okay. So.
All right. So we are going to sing the song, We Love You, and you are going to be all right. Hey, we can say it. And we will see you soon. All right. Bye.
You stay right by my side, or leave me alone tonight. When you see all of my scars, will you slip out quietly, like a whisper in the trees? Oh, drop me. Oh, pedal down the floor. Oh, do you know what it's like to fly on the wings of broken dreams gone by? Oh, close your eyes. Tell me what you see. Is there a place for me, even in my frail humanity? So tell me that I'll be alright. Oh, how was I supposed to know just how deep my issues go? I'd like to blink them all away. And there are moments when I think that I'm all better and I kicked it clean. But then I screwed up again. Oh, do you know what it's like to be so full of love, yet fully flawed as me? Close your eyes and tell me I'm okay. And even in the rubble, there's hope for shattered ones like me. So tell me that I'll be alright. Tell me that I'll be alright. Well, maybe this will be the day when I choose to kiss the rain, to taste all the love of present arms. One step forward, loving myself. I'm making peace with fractured parts. So tell me, what do you need tonight?